Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Naisha, and today I'll be answering a very frequently asked question. How did I get here? I'm a licensed mental health counselor, so a lot of you guys really want to know what it took for me to get here. I'll answer it. You guys have been watching me since I graduated from my master's degree, and maybe even since I graduated with my bachelor's. I've had this channel for years now, and it's about time I answer this question for you guys. So I'll start from step 1. Alright guys, how did I get here? At the bright young age of 18, I graduated high school feeling listless as many high schoolers do. I had a couple of goals in mind. I knew I wanted to help people and I wanted to lead a happy life. So I set forth to study psychology. It's something I had always had an interest in due to sheer curiosity and my own experiences with mental health. So, what's next? I chose to enroll with Valencia College, the Winter Park, Florida campus to be exact. Here's a suggestion for all you seniors though. Apply for all of the scholarships you can. That includes FAFSA and Bright Futures. You'll need it. Trust me. My very first semester costed me over $1,000. With about $300 per credit, your tuition could cost you around $5,000 if you go for an AA like I did. Yikes. Starting at Valencia, I still felt listless. I knew what I would like to be learning, but I lacked the motivation to do it. And then I walked into my new student experiences class with my professor at the time, Miss May. She gave us an assignment, a purpose statement she called it. I didn't think much of it until I actually started to work on it though. I thought on my values. What am I good at? What do I want? It took some time, but I managed to scribble it onto some scrap of notebook paper. My purpose is to be happy, I said. I've been dealing with a lot of general anxiety and depression. I'm sure I've mentioned it to you guys before. I wanted to be able to do well in my classes on my own, I continued. Knowing myself, I tended to rely on others for classwork, and I wanted to be able to work on my value of honesty and personal strength. Lastly, I want to help others solve their problems. It's what I'm good at. I had previously taken a quiz for class titled Strength Quest. It showed me that my biggest strength was being restorative, a problem solver. It made sense when tied to my ultimate core values that I wanted to be a psychologist. Kindness, helpfulness, good listening skills. I tend to be a rock when people need one, and that's when I solidified my true purpose. After that assignment, college didn't feel as bad as it used to. At least now I knew in which direction I was going. As a student there, I frequented the library and the math center, one more often than the other. I'm no good at math. I was even able to change my AA type with the help of an advisor. I went from AA in general studies to an AA in psychology, and that was way more important than I could have ever thought. This change in program really helped me narrow down the classes I needed to take at Valencia, while also helping me satisfy some of the prerequisites I needed to enter my dream university, the University of Central Florida. It had been my goal to study there ever since I had attended someone else's graduation, so armed with this and the direct connect to UCF provided by Valencia, I knew I could achieve my goal of studying psychology in the institution I had always dreamed of. Now that I felt settled in my decision, I was told that my next task was a career interview. I had to speak with someone who currently had the career I was aspiring towards. I thought, what better time to learn the specifics of how to get the job I want? I had the perfect person to speak with, too. My psychology professor at the time. Her name was Miss Goldsmith, and she was a wonder to work with. At the time, she was a licensed mental health counselor, the exact job I now have. She was happy to let me speak with her, although I remember our meeting being rather brief. It was easy to tell she loved her job from the way she spoke. It was truly genuine. She sounded so happy. Though she did say she didn't exactly love all the paperwork, and I can totally agree. She even told me about new job opportunities popping up in high schools in the area. And now comes the not-so-fun part. To become a licensed mental health counselor such as myself, there's a few things you need to do. First, you must obtain your master's degree in counseling or related fields such as psychology. Second, you must have at least 2 years of supervised experience. Third, you must pass the National Clinical Mental Health Counseling examination. Fourth, you must take courses in the following subjects: laws and rules, HIV/AIDS, and domestic violence. With all of this, you can obtain your license. But I can only speak for the state of Florida, so if you're interested in this career, please check your state's guidelines. Now, knowing all of this, I was intimidated to say the least, but I was still determined to do it. After doing all the research, I went from knowing which direction I was going to knowing where I was going and how I was going to get there. But what's after Valencia, you guys might ask? Well, I'll tell you. After finishing my first semester of college, time flew by way quicker than anticipated. Before I knew it, I was graduating with my AA in psychology and transferring directly into UCF. At this point, thankfully, I had received some help from FAFSA and a couple of other scholarships so I could pay for my degree. UCF isn't cheap after all. The price tag per class is around $600, so I'm glad student aid came to my rescue. My experience at UCF was pretty much like I expected it to be, fairly uneventful. I lived on my own, in an apartment not too far from campus. I focused on my studies, not wanting to slip up and lose my financial aid. I learned a lot about being mostly independent during my first few years at UCF. I even joined an honor society for psychology called Nico-chii. It was somewhere in the middle of my bachelor's degree, that I had some free time and started my YouTube channel. I was very timid, not liking to talk a lot, but I knew I had to do something. My career depended on it. I found that making videos really helped me open up. I've got to thank you guys for that. So, what's it like? I'll finish up the video with a general description of my job. As a mental health counselor, my primary objective is the treatment of others' mental states. To do this, I must be a very good listener for group and individual therapies. I must be articulate when giving advice or providing an explanation to my clients about their status. I am also able to make mental health assessments and develop individualized treatment plans. And I can also make referrals to other doctors that could help my client. And I recently discovered that with the right preparations, I can run an actual wellness class or workshop, kind of like this YouTube channel. I also find it to be my duty to make my clients as comfortable as I can, so I've made my offices appear to be the living room of a house, complete with a comfortable couch, a small fireplace, and a huggable plush toy. Alright guys, that was the end of this presentation. I will see you guys in person in a moment. And that is all for the video today, folks. I hope it answered all of your questions, and if not, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I will include it in a future video. If you're new, please subscribe, and I hope this video found you well today. That is all. Nico signing out. See you another day.